Hello, Eastside Youth. We had a blast playing socks with you guys Sunday night. It was a good time, and I hope you guys enjoyed that time together. This week is small groups Sunday night, so we're bringing small groups back this year, and we're going to take an opportunity to do something different for youth group this week. What we're going to be doing, and I'll share more about this Sunday night, but we're kind of partnering with Mr. Bruno and his work with the widows in our church, and we're going to be doing some stuff to communicate our care to the widows in our church around Valentine's Day. Normally we do our Valentine's Day dinner, and because of COVID, we're not going to be doing that at Valentine's Day this year, and so we are going to have a different option for us to do on Valentine's Day, but we're going to take a look at that and begin the process of that this week at small groups. So join us this week. We'd love to have you. We're excited for small groups, and we're excited for those to be back. I'm going to share just a little bit in continuing with our Hebrews chapter 11 in the Hall of Faith. Last week we looked at Moses and his faith in leading the people of God. This week is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 29. It says, "By faith the people of Israel crossed the Red Sea as on dry land, but the Egyptians, when they attempted to do the same, were drowned." And that's it. That's what we're talking about this week. So it says, by faith the people of Israel were able to cross the Red Sea. And if we read that, it can be tempting for us to read that and equate the actual splitting to their faith. That is actually not the case. The people were freaking out, and they were even talking about in that story. And if you want to read that, you can go back. It's Exodus chapter, I think it's 13 or 14. But they, when they saw that the Red Sea was in front of them and Pharaoh's army behind them, they were ready to surrender and say, you know what? We had a good run. Let's go back and go back to Pharaoh. He's got food, and yeah, we'll be slaves, but we won't be dead and we won't be caught here. And they were ready to surrender. And God said, no. I'm going to show both my people and Pharaoh who I am and my power. And so God had Moses do the thing with the staff, and the Red Sea split, and it created this path of dry ground for them to walk through. None of those things were the actual actions of the people of Israel. Those are all things that God did. Remember, at this point, the people of Israel are afraid, and they're talking about going back. And then they see this thing split, and it's them saying, you know what, actually, we're going to believe that that is something that God did to save us, that he split this Red Sea, and by doing so is providing a way of escape for us. And by faith, they didn't surrender. So it's faith that makes them go into the Red Sea, but everything up to that point was God's working. And the same is true in our lives. God does things in our lives, and he allows and causes things to happen in our lives. But a lot of times it can be left open, and it's up to us to respond in faith to those things. And this can be a lot of things, if you know that a friend or a loved one is going through something or hurting, we got cell phones, we got all this stuff, and they tell you, hey, I'm not doing good. God has opened the opportunity up to you for you to communicate your love and care for them, but it's your actions in faith that you can take an action that will help them, and that you can speak something of godliness or hope into that situation that causes you to do it. And so our faith doesn't always mean that it causes the circumstances, but our faith causes us to step into circumstances, sometimes when those circumstances are not good, in order to experience what God has for us. Like the Israelites had no clue what was coming, what was on the other side of that sea. They didn't know. They just knew that God had provided a way through, and in faith, they walked across on dry land. And then as they look back, the water crashes in, and Pharaoh's folks are drowned. And so I would challenge you guys to look for ways and look for the times in your life where God is giving you an opportunity to practice and grow and express your faith. And, that can be a number of different ways. It doesn't have to be crossing a sea on dry land. Probably won't be. And that's okay. But look for those opportunities this week. It's the end of the quarter. I hope you guys are finishing the quarter out well. And then you'll get, it sounds like a couple days break, much deserved break to you guys from school at the beginning of next week. So yeah, and we got tubing coming up on the 6th. We got snow in Albany, so we should have snow where the mountains are. So looking forward to that. And again, small groups this Sunday. Join us for that. We'd love to have you guys. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.